viewers and subscribers. Thanks for joining us on your favorite program from the Pastor's Desk with Dr. Alex Olugbami. You would agree with me that it's always an insightful program. Now today we'll be looking at spiritual authority with emphasis on spiritual covering. Thank you so much, sir. It's always a delight to be with you. Yes, this is another interesting part of spiritual authority, and we've been on our long series of spiritual authority. Let's start with this, sir. It is stated here that spiritual covering as a subject is of utmost importance to every believer. Why is that, sir?
Okay. From the standard text, Hebrew 13:17, it stated there that obey them that have the rule over you. Why? Because they will give accounts of their soul. That means that they cover you spiritually. That's as simple as that.
Oh,
You know, for me to give account about you, I must be a covering.
awesome.
For me to account for you, I must be a covering.
Yes, yes.
Which means when you are eating, when you are driving, when you are sitting, I'm there with you.
Wow, interesting. And I like that you actually draw this analogy, still on the first paragraph, analogy with that of a qualified doctor prescribing drugs. And so could you break that down for us?
Now, what it simply means is this. It's like spiritual authority is specific. You know, if a doctor prescribes a drug, the drug is meant to function as the doctor thinks. A man that has a headache will need Panadol, a pain reliever. Now, doctor prescribes Panadol for you, but the chemist gives you another drug.
Okay.
Now, it has made the work of a doctor as if it has not worked.
Sure.
So the same way spiritually, if you are under a false authority, okay, you cannot have your maximum potential.
If you are under a false authority, you cannot have your maximum potential. Yes. What a great way to put it, sir. And now, one might be wondering, what is that indication that makes an authority authentic?
Because he is God's saint, authenticity of him is from God, not from man. It's not a choice you make. It's a choice God made for you. That's the difference. And then when God makes a choice for you, it's for your own interest. It may not appeal to you. It's not even the best of men you want to be with. But that's God's choice for you. And that is what matters a lot. People don't understand. You may not agree with authority over you, but for the sake of where you're going, you have to agree.
That's true. And now I'm saying here, going further, it even gets more insightful that material prosperity does not authenticate spiritual authority. We seem to be getting it all mixed up, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to clarify that.
Please do, sir.
Now, somebody who is looking for something from God comes to the church. And the moment he steps into the church, he gets the result he's looking for. Like, for example, you've been out of job for a long while, and somebody tells you about a particular assembly. When you get there, the pastor will pray for you, and instantly you get what you get. And exactly what they said, what happens? That does not make that pastor your authority. The fact that what you are looking for, you get it there, doesn't mean that it's sent from God for you. We need to get it clearly.
Yes.
But most of us are driven by what we want, not what we need.
At that moment.
At that moment.
And now, I see the emphasis on the major litmus test.
Yes.
The major litmus test, sir.
Yes.
So what should we look out for?
Well, the litmus test is exactly what I said in that write-up. And that is the fact that this authority must be able to cover you up.
Yes.
What is to cover you up? His spirit must go with you.
Sure. Yes, sir.
All right. His spirit must go with you everywhere you go. His seed must be in you. Either it's there or it's not there. You are a seed carrier. It's a word seed. That is the most important thing about authority.
Wow.
So it's a litmus test. Now, sometimes you see people talking like a spiritual father. They talk like him. Sometimes they even behave like him. It's not because they want to, it's a seed.
Mm.
So the litmus test actually is to look for that particular thing,
Mm.
that makes that individual your spiritual covering.
Awesome. And now this brings us to the soul prospering beyond the material, prosperity. And I like what you emphasized here, sir. Just give me time to say this. Designated by God, an authenticated authority designated by God over its very elect is empowered with the ability to constantly feed the soul of them who are under with a balanced spiritual diet. The catch for me now is this balance. I love the way you use that adjective, balanced spiritual diet, sir.
Yes, I would like to talk more on that. A balanced diet physically makes you to grow.
Sure.
And a balanced diet, what we call it kwashoko. We have people who are kwashoko today spiritually.
Wow.
The same way. Listen to this.
Wow.
Now, authority that God designated for you will feed you really with a balanced diet. What does that mean? It makes your soul to prosper. Not only material thing, your soul begins to increase in strength, in everything. Now, what is a prosperous soul? A prosperous soul is the one that carries the seed of the authority. That's what I said earlier.
Yes, like you stated earlier.
Going further, making it very, very easy. Now, if you cannot feed me balanced diet, then you're not my authority. Let me say it again. Peter said something. Peter 2, he said, as little babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that thou mayest thereby grow. Which means they are insincere milk. Okay? Sincere milk means a balanced diet. So growth is anchored on a balanced diet.
Growth is anchored on a balanced diet.
Not on an insincere milk. Let me give an insincere milk. Somebody preaching prosperity. The Lord bless you. No problem with that. You will prosper. You will get $1 million contract. That is talking about physical prosperity. That is a one-sided teaching. It is an insincere milk. The other part of the milk is this. As he's getting the money, his soul must prosper. Otherwise, when the foolish man prospers, he shall destroy him.
Wow.
He cannot handle prosperity because his soul does not prosper to handle that prosperity.
Wow, doctor, this is getting really insightful. And another part that is quite catchy here, it's the story of the young lad Gehazi. Now, in buttressing the fact that the one who has rule over you is ever, always, and constantly with you, sir.
Beautiful.
And one might ask, sir, how can that be?
Okay. Now, when I say he's ever with you, it's not physically with you in your bedroom, but in spirit follows you anywhere you go.
And that's powerful.
It is the most important
That's
thing.
powerful.
Because without the spirit following you, he cannot watch over you. That word there is to watch. W-A-T-C-H. He watch over you because he will give account. If he has to watch over you, which means anywhere you go in spirit follows you to watch and to give account. It's very simple.
The story of
Gehazi. Gehazi thought, because Elijah was sitting down in his sitting room and he was outside and he followed Naaman. He thought the man spirit didn't follow him. Now he went and collected whatever the man brought, which his father refused, and he went to stand before the father afterwards. And the father said, "Where were you?" He said, "I didn't go anywhere, sir. I'm here." He said, "Didn't my spirit go with you?"
I can imagine his reaction.
Didn't my spirit go with you? In other words, you've forgotten I'm your authority. You've forgotten that my spirit goes with anywhere you go.
Wow.
I saw you when you took the thing from the camera. And then the cause came. Please, it's a very important area.
Very, very important, sir. Dr. Alex Olugbami,
Yes, please.
thank you so much for the clarification there.
Yes.
And now we're even getting into other areas. It's important to know the implication to walk out of God's appointed covering. Like, so many of us take these things for granted. But sir, let's hold on. Let's hold that. We'll get back. Now we see one of the greatest wiles of the enemy over the elect is to bring them to an offensive state between them and the relationship. This is happening, sir.
Yes.
This is happening.
Yes.
What do we do at this point?
Well, that is the major issue. Offense is the enemy's weapon. And most of the time what they do is that when the enemy knows that the covering you are in is working for you, and he wants to attack you, he wants to get you, then he now puts you in offense with authority. So out of anger, you just leave.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you're angry. The next thing, when you leave, you become vulnerable to his attack. It's a very serious why, and it's happening daily. There is no reason for you to leave. You just get angry and just say, I'm just kidding. Or somebody throw a seed into your heart. So you see that man, this and that offense just comes in. And once it comes in, you take a decision and you go and it just boom, it gets the person. Now it's a very, very subtle way of him operating in the church today. Without any offense, you just develop anger. You just hate your leader for no reason.
Yes.
Just hate him. I just don't like his God. I don't like seeing him. Before you
Very
know it,
true.
you're walking out of that covering. The next thing, you're vulnerable to an attack from the enemy's camp.
And those are the wiles of the enemy.
Yes.
So how can we take reference from Esther's story, just like you stated here?
Because Esther was put up by Mordecai. And Mordecai told her, say, listen, daughter, I brought you up. Perhaps for this reason, I'm the covering over you. For this reason, for the sake of the Jews in this land, God has brought you to a place like this. You never thought you could be here forever. But God brought you so that you can set us free. And again, he said, okay, if I perish, I perish. The authority was watching over her and told her what to do. And she quickly did that, and the nation was set free.
And so we can actually say that Esther got a very deep insight on the importance
about covering.
About covering.
Because the man was a bloody gate man, Mordecai. How can a gate man be talking to a queen? And he advised her and took her back to her roots, and she understood. This is my authority, and she obeyed, and she was set free.
So this is really getting interesting. And now I'm personally wondering, would we say, still on the wiles of the enemy, would we say we become susceptible when we allow pride to come in?
God bless you.
Because I have actually observed over time that
God bless you.
You use the word subtle.
Yes.
How can we checkmate this pride? How can we checkmate this pride at some point?
That's another scripture that I love you to look at in James. The Bible says, God resists the proud, and He gives grace to the humble. Now, it is not something you joke with. Pride is so subtle. Even a pride man will not know that he's proud.
That's the danger, sir.
Obadiah 3, he said they have been deceived by the pride in their hearts. Pride is deceptive. You won't even know you're a proud man. So you need to be careful about pride. Okay. It's pride that makes us feel that somebody is offending us. If you have no pride, there's no offense.
Thank you so much, sir. And we could go on like this, Dr. Alex Olugbami. Now, just one last word for this segment. Now, what is the importance of spiritual covering in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, the spiritual covering is like a shield.
Okay.
That covers you up in everything that you do, even in warfare. It stands for you as your shield.
Wow. Couldn't have been better put. And it's another insightful segment with Dr. Alex Olugbami. Always a pleasure, always something to learn. Now, don't go away, because next time we'll be bringing more insightful series. And until we come your way again next time, keep speaking the word.